Hi, hi friend, how are you? It is Amy, and this is Renewing Stitches. It's a YouTube channel about cross stitch, and I am renewing stitches. I love the old stuff, stitch the new stuff as well, and love that, and everything in between. Um, it's been 2 weeks, and it feels like a month. There's been a lot in this last 2 weeks, haven't there? Hasn't there? There has been. My English is my sentence structure is gone too. It's good to see you. It is almost 30. I think it's 29 this morning. 29 currently in Northeast Texas. We, from that cold front that came through and dumped a ton of snow and ice through Missouri and Kentucky and Virginia, all that, we just got the cold air. Yeah, 29 right now. Feels like temperature is 25, but that's to change. Even though we got quick weather report, sorry, and then we'll get it across stitch. Even though we got the cold air this first round, the second round is not going to be so uneventful. We are going to get ice and snow. They just don't know how much. So we're preparing for Thursday, Friday here to be snow and ice, and I'm excited to see snow. We saw a dusting last year, I think. It feels weird not to do the temperature piece. I'll talk about that later, but anyway, last year I think we got a dusting and it was gone. This year we're going to get something. If not now, hopefully in February. Usually February, March, we usually get something ice related, cold, freezing, precipitation related. But I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway, we'll just go on. I hope y'all are doing well and staying warm. It's been a long 2 weeks, I think. I first want to show you the framed helmets that I did for my husband and boys. And then I'll show you the completed family piece. And then we're going to go a little out of order. I'm doing whips first, and then new starts, and then plans. So it'll be a little longer. I hope that's okay. Let me show you. I got to let it snow cup because I am in the snow. I'm in the snow mood. It's cold out. We started our fire, our first fire of the year was it Sunday after church. No, Sunday evening. We started our first fire of the year, and we don't burn it a lot. But it's so nice. I love the smell of a wood burning fire. I grew up with it. Well, I didn't grow up with it. My grandparents had it, and then we didn't have it in our house growing up. But we always went to my grandparents, and I loved the smell there. They had a wood burning fire place. And then whenever my parents built their house, it's got the same size fireplace. It's pretty big. And I mean, you can technically hide in it if there was you can get maybe 2 or 3 people in there, depending. But and so we didn't build that massive. We just have an insert here, but it's a wood burning fireplace. And oh, there's something about, and I've talked about it before, the smells just have memories with them, and y'all know that. But wood burning fireplace smell, the leaves on the ground in the fall and winter. Of course, it's winter. They fall around here. But the smells, and then the quietness of the snow. I just love this time of year. I love the spring and the summer too, but I appreciate all the seasons. Fall and winter are my jam. Anyway, let's go cross stitch. 5 minutes is plenty. I hope y'all had a wonderful stitchy 2 weeks, and I can't wait to hear about what you worked on. Please let me know below. Let's see. I'll show you the family piece first. Okay, so I didn't bring it out. In my last 2 floss tubes, I showed you the book that I got this out of. It's from 80, I know I've written it down. It's from 80, it's in my other book. I changed Flosstube books too. Did I put the other one up? No. Nope. Was that it? No, that's not it. I changed my notebook that I write my Flosstube notes in because it was towards the end of the notebook, and so I just changed. Well, anyway, I can list it below. I'll list it below in the drop down. So I did this piece for my family cross stitch piece, and I think I showed you. Yes, I did show you all the completed pieces last time. So if you're interested, you can look back. But this is how I finished it. I had thought of doing the black with the candy canes, but since this is an outdoor piece, I just put the snow one around it, and that was fine. Under here is our family names, but it turned out great. It's a flip fold, a flat fold, and I have felt on the inside. So this one is done, and so when we put up Christmas for the year, the box will not be quite as heavy, and that is exciting. What did I say there was? Let's see, I started in 2003. So that would have been 21 frames with glass, because they all had glass. It's heavy. 20 was heavy. 15 was heavy. And I try not to put anything else in there that's heavy, just, pillows and such. Maybe the Christmas dish towels to help pad the glass, but this time I won't have to, so yay. All right, so that was done. This was on this was that 25 count Lugana, the steel blue Lugana maybe? I can't remember. I don't have much left. And I used the book, it's from the 80s, I'll list it below, and then the font is from the alphabets book that I'll list below as well. So that was one fully finished. And then I wanted to show you the pieces that are framed, my helmets. I did these for the boys and my husband in their football teams, and I've done it throughout the year as a Christmas finish for them. And I tried to keep it a secret. I hope it was. They said they didn't know, but I would stitch on it during the piano lessons or doctor appointments where they weren't like sitting right next to me or walking by at any point. So these are the framed pieces. We'll start with, well, I don't guess it matters, the two that have the losing seasons, and one that's in the playoffs. So this is for my youngest. I just got a black frame for all of them. And I had talked about doing like a circular finish for them, but the Steelers one had like a real sliver of fabric left because I didn't place it right. So I just did frames for all of them, and you'll see the difference. But that is the youngest. And then the oldest. See how that just has a little bit, he doesn't care. He loves it. But you can see the difference. Like this was more evenly. I guess it's not as even in there, but it doesn't matter. They love it. And I really should pull. I see some black DMC. I may take it out and shush that back up there, or iron it a little. Iron it back up there. But that's that. And then my husband's, same frame, different team. So I will start on mine. So my team is Detroit, the Detroit Lions, and if they're in the playoffs, they're the first round seed. They have a bye this week. So I won't jinx it, although I don't believe in that. But if they, let's see, I'll start it. I'll just start it this year sometime. So those are the finishes, fully finishes. Now I have one that is almost finished, so it's not, I still have to put the letters in. This, we're in whips now, sorry. We're in whips. Let me take a drink. 10 minutes. I hope y'all don't get commercials. Let me know if you do, since this will be longer. This is from Hear, O Israel cross stitch book. It's It's from CB Davis. It doesn't have, I mean, I don't know that there were a lot in this. I don't know if it was a series or if it was as Covenant Counted Cross Stitch from 1981. And I stitched the upper portion of this flower. I'm changing it. So I had originally thought to stitch this inside, which says Hero Israel. But I'm going to change it to something else. And I did that. I've just got to find the Hebrew alphabet and chart it. So hopefully it'll say Shalom. That's what I'm hoping. I need to verify that that's indeed what it says, or what it will say. Verify and make sure I have the right letters. But that's what it will say, and the wedding is on Sunday. So I am going to be working on that until it's done, and then I'll stitch whatever else this week. So this will be finished and fully finished by Sunday. And if not, they're going to live in town. So we have a gift for them anyway from their registry. So if it's not finished, we can drop it off when they get back and take a meal or something. That would be fun. So it's not a hard and fast, got to give it, never going to see them again type thing. But anyway, so there is some leeway. But I still want to get it done because I think it would be nice to have them have it. Oh, cardinal. They're so fluffy right now. Oh, the cardinals are so fluffy. Anyway, this is on 14. No, this is not on 14 count vintage blue. That was what I was wanting to stitch it on. I need to chunk that. What is it on? 30 count lamb's wool linen. And I'm doing it 2/2, so it's going to be, it's like 15 count. But let me tell you, I want to restitch this. It is simple, but beautiful. I just love it. It's so simple. In the pattern, now it did take me a while because this is the counting and recounting. It is off like a half a stitch or a stitch, but I'm not. Seriously, 2 colors, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 colors, and it's beautiful. It's just an older. I love the palette. It's just I don't know. It's elegant, maybe that's the thing, and it just so pretty. So ideally, this would be, well, not ideally. In the chart, this is mirrored on the bottom, and then the this is the matzah cover. Yes. And underneath it says 7, number 7. I don't know what it says. Let's see here. I'm getting warm. Need to turn my heater off. Okay. It says it doesn't say what it says. Unique to Passover eating of unleavened bread, matzah, during the Passover service here. 3 matzah. 8. Oh, this matzah cover spells matzah in Hebrew. So that's what this is right here. It spells matzah in Hebrew. And actually you go right to left when you read it. So I'm going to change it to Shalom. No. Yeah, Shalom. Yes. Which is welcome or peace be with you. And I think that would be good in their home. And so I'm going to put that there and then frame it. And then I'm going to restitch it and I may do the same just to have that as a memory. Put Shalom, a memory of them. And not in memory, but a memory. And then maybe welcome underneath. I don't know. I may do that. We'll see. But I am going to restitch this. I think it's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And it's so simple. I think it's beautiful in its simplicity. I'd also love to do right here the flowers around that Star of David. So pretty. Okay. that's enough of that. I'm going to turn my heater off. Please hold. And I'm not going to stop the video. Okay. Because I'm hot. It's getting hot. All right. It's an interior hot. You know what I mean. Okay. The next whip I'm going to show is Stacy Nash. Now, these aren't in any order. This is just how I have them stacked so they won't fall down. I worked on the Stacy Nash Rose Cottage pin keep. And I charted the verse that I was going to use. I finished the green that was on my needle. So I was over here. I had a little bit left on some of the leaves to finish out my needle. And then I took out the heart that I had stitched in and started on the verse. So I charted, and I did not write it out. Where's my Bible? I charted Hebrews 11:10. Where's my Bible? It's under you. Please hold. I hope I don't make you sick. Okay. And I hope that didn't hurt your ears from the moving. Okay. It was talking about, so Hebrews 11 is the faith chapter, all the heroes of the faith. And this one's about Abraham. Hebrews 11:10. For he is talk about by faith Abraham when called to go to a place he, okay, so I'm going to read it to you real quick. Hebrews 9:8. Hebrews 8, I'll get it right. Hebrews 11:8-10. By faith, when called to go to a place he would later receive as his inheritance, obeyed and went, even though he did not know where he was going. By faith, he, Abraham, made his home in the promised land like a stranger in a foreign country. He lived in tents, as did Isaac and Jacob, who were heirs with him of the same promise. And this is the verse I'm charting. Verse 10. For he was looking forward to the city with foundations, whose architect and builder is God. And so that's the one I've charted, and that's the one I've started, and it will be on this piece. This is a piece of 18 count Ada that I dyed in something, coffee, tea, some concoction. And so I took out the heart that was here. I had this stitched in, and there was a heart right up here. And I finished the couple of little leaves over there. And I charted this verse, and I centered it, and it is somewhere. Where is it? I guess it's on my Flosstube Itchy Nose. I guess it's under my stack of bags. Anyway, so I centered it and going to center it here. So this has another pot on the other side and then all the blue underneath, but I wanted to go ahead and get that verse started. So I used the alphabet that she has charted here for that. I just centered it. And I think I added a row because I wasn't doing, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. It has 4 rows and a divider. So 2 rows of alphabet and then a row of numbers. And then a row with a basket and a heart and a motif, a quilty motif, and then initials. So I took out the borders. I'm just going to do the bottom border. And I'll probably do a top border, but this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. And I have plenty of room, so I'll do the blue underneath. It'll be lovely. But that's what I'm doing. That's what I charted, and that's the change. Now, I might do some kind of something to fill in right here. And I will outline the roof in like a light tan, so it shows up. It shows up in person, but just so that I'm not having to, well, maybe like that. just so I don't think about it when I look at it and when it's framed. I'm going to outline it. So that is the Rose Cottage pin keep from Stacy Nash. Did I need to tell you anything else about that? Nope. Okay, next is a piece I am working on with my friend Paula. It's from this magazine, Cross Stitch and Country Crafts, from January, February of 1995. And I'm doing this sampler. It's changing as well. I had a little bit of the dove left on one side and the greenery to do and the fill in the alphabet last time I saw you. This is on a piece of 18 count Ernest Emma from Those Missing Stitches. And here it is. I'll just leave it open because it's small enough. So I had a little bit of the dove left here to do, and this left, I believe, some of the green. And then I charted the Luke verse, Luke 2:14, in just a font that was already preloaded on my charting software. And I probably should not wipe my face and then wipe that and touch that. I'll probably need to make sure not to touch it. But it's the verse, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men or mankind." And so I took out these are the horns of the angels. Let me get that out for you again. So I took out a few things on this one. I took out that row because the white, it shows up. You can see the doves. You can see it. In person, you can see it a little bit better. But I needed some room there, and I went ahead and, in order for it to fit, I went ahead and took that out too. And then I was already planning to take out the numbers. So the wreath is gone, but the piece is there. I scooted the piece. Will be, let's see here. So the piece is now on top of the horns right here. And then the angel's sleeves will be underneath the piece. I'm sorry, underneath the horns, which it is, but piece is right here. And then the other part of the verse is up here. So I'm going to leave out joy and just finish with this upper font. Does that make any sense at all? I'm going to finish with this upper font to finish the verse down here and put Luke 2, whatever it is, 2:14, 2:15. Do that there. And work on the angels. So the top part is done. I'm going to put in the angels, finish the verse, and then put in the leaves and stuff around, just around where it has it charted, but not part of the wreath. And then I'll put maybe another border or put this underneath. I think that's what I'm thinking. So I am recharting. Yay. That's good. That's very, very good. Very adventurous. I really want to put this back up under you. Please hold. Okay, that's better. Okay, now, next in the pile is Winter Rose Manor from Brenda Gervais. There we go. I'm changing this one also, recharting. I wanted to put a verse here too. I don't have it written here. It must be in my bag. So my thought is I'm going to put it up here. I'm going to scoot this down. Take the top row of building of house off of it and scoot the window or like this whole section down. So it's going to be a 2-story rather than a 3-story. The birds are going to stay the same. I'll just stitch the birds and then stitch the flowers around it. So, excuse me, if the birds are in front of the stitching, I'll just leave that part out of the flowers and stuff. And that way it'll give me some room up here to stitch a verse. But everything else is going to stay the same. I worked on, what did I work on? I got the flowers in, and then I started doing some of the pink. And that did a good bit. So this is, I'm stitching this with my in-person friends, one who's finished and one is still working. This is on 46 count natural linen, 1/2. Also, several Flosstubers are stitching this as well. This is my progress. So the flowers, see if I can get this without actually touching it with my face hand. The flowers here I did, and I just back and forth with the pink. Oh, I did some of the white too. And that's all. That's all I've done. But it was quite a bit. I mean, that was, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours of pink and white stitching. And then I thought about, I mean, I was also processing in my head how I wanted to do the top, but I asked friends and they gave me some good advice and I took it, and the advice was maybe I had made a copy and then moved things around. I think Kim does that. Contented needlework again. I think she does that. Takes a copy and kind of moves it, cuts it in pieces and moves it around. Oh, let's see. Next one is, I pulled out Crocette Gogo. I think that's how you say it. This is a winter sampler. I started this last year with Beth, the Steadfast Stitcher, and Laura, Stitching by the Shore. Hi, friends. And I have not pulled it out all year. So I did this before before the new year because I haven't stitched on it since. So I'm up here in the corner, right here. I had the owl and the snowman and this corner done. I worked on the tree. This is on, did I write it down here? I did not write it down. Why not? I should have it written down. It's, I want to say it's Bestitch Me. 28 count. I'm doing it over 1. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I don't know why I didn't write that down. It may be on the bag. May have gotten off. Oh, that's it. Yes. Oh, no. You know what? I think it's a Vintage Country Mocha because the front is printed and the back is not. I think it's a 28 count. I'm doing it over 1. There we go. Here we go. Get that little bit of serging out of the way so you can see it. So, over 1 with the called for, I believe, I don't think I substituted the call for white just so it would pop real good, but I did the tree and the birds and the flowers underneath this time. I love it. Oh, I did finish. I had brown on my needle, so I finished up and down here. I counted. It was a long strand. You know, when you're doing 1 over 1, a long strand lasts a lot longer. So that is Winter Cottage, Winter Quaker. It's going to be big. It's 215 by 315. But I love it. I was going to take some out, but I decided, no, I'm not going to. I will, I might rechart it and use the alphabet and put something in there. But I am enjoying that. It's pretty. Pretty, pretty. I need to make that note down there. Okay. that concludes the whip portion. Let's see, note to self, find fabric, count. Okay. New starts. Again, this is in order of, it's just stacked on my pile. So it's like biggest to smallest, so it won't tumble over. 30 minutes. Okay. I am starting, so I'm doing whip go this year, and I'm doing an ornament whip go with Karen, the Stitching Owl, hi friend, and Amy M Makes, hi. I will list all the Flosstubers that I mentioned below. There's a female cardinal. So pretty. Distracting. Okay, I am stitching whip go ornaments, and whip go is from Jessie Marie. I'll also link her below. Jessie Marie does stuff, and I did whip go last year. I didn't complete it, but I got mostly done. I got further than I did the year before. Rose Cottage was on my whip go last year, but I didn't finish it. That's okay. It's all right. This year, my goal is to do an ornament per number. So at the end, it'll be 25. Well, actually, it'll be 50, but I'll show you that in a second. And I want to finish quarterly, fully finish quarterly. So with Amy, of Amy M Makes, I am doing this Crocette Go-Go 2020 Advent Calendar. And every number, when Jessie Marie calls a number, then that's the number that we'll do. So she called for January, it's 11 and 20. Or actually, 20 was first and then 11, but I can't stitch like that. I can't do the number like that. I got to do 11 first and then 20. So number 11 is the tree right here. No, this tree. That's mistletoe. This tree right here. And so I started on that one. And I'm doing all of them on Vintage Country Mocha. No, Vintage Taupe from Hobby Lobby. And this is my start on number 11. This is not my start on number 11. This is the, I got it mixed up. It's this one. This is the other whip go. This is my start on number 11. Same fabric. 14 count vintage taupe from Hobby Lobby. And this will be a stamp size. I will finish them in like a really thin, I'm thinking right now, this is my thought, of like a really thin padded pillow with a ribbon for a hook. So that's the top of the tree. I got the outline done. This is how wide it's going to be. I guess how wide they all are going to be except for number 25. The bottom one is 25. So each of these are smaller. They're this size right here. But 25 will be pretty big. And that won't get done in a month. But I'm hoping these are small enough that I can do them in a month. And my thought is to go ahead and put the numbers on them. I had originally thought not to, but I think I will. Yeah, I think I will. Because if I don't, then, I mean, I can. The reason why I wouldn't put numbers on them is if I would be giving as a gift. I don't know. Because the other whip go, I'll show you. Okay, so here is my start on that one. So I need to get this one finished and start on the other one, which will be number 20 is the snow globe. It's right here. That's the snow globe. That's number 20. That one's got a little bit more stitching, I think. So the other whip go I'm doing is with Karen Stitching Owl, and she's doing 25 ornaments. Now I'm doing two whip go ornaments, but I'm using the same, I'm using Jessie Marie, whatever she calls is what I do. Now this one is on a board. So I have pulled Melissa from Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting Blogspot. I'll link her below. I pulled 25 Christmas freebies from her blog, which is full of more than 25 Christmas freebies. There's a lot. I will link it below. But I pulled number 11, which was the winter stamp, and I'm just going to briefly show it, but it's small, and that's it. It is also on a 14 count vintage taupe from Hobby Lobby. See, it's small, so you can kind of see. The other one is another snowman. I got hair here. Another snowman. And it'll get started when this one's done. This is also going to be finished quarterly, and I would like to do these. These are going to be available as gifts or on my tree. We'll see. But as with the other one, my thought is to cut it out and not whip stitch it, blanket stitch. Blanket stitch? No, just the back stitch, I guess. Back stitch it and then put the fabric on the back and make it like a thin stuffing in the middle, like a thin pillow, and then ravel the edges or use pink and shears to go around the edges. That's my thought, because it would be light and not I wouldn't have to glue anything or do much sewing. It would just be hand sewing, and I can do that anytime. So those are the 2 whip goes that I've started so far. The other 2 will be number 20 for both of them. And then I started a blessing sampler. Just real quick, it's also from Pinker and Pumpkin. When I pulled the Christmas stitches, I pulled this one. I'll just do this in January, real easy. Maybe I could stitch a letter or 2 a day. Excuse me, and get it done. Get it done pretty fast. And I laugh because I think Laura started one too, and she's using a variegated too, which is great. You know, we have a lot in common. This is the floss I'm using. This is a variegated DMC 121. Several blues. I'm stitching it on just a piece of tan fabric. It's not a vintage taupe or vintage country mocha. It's not printed. It's just a plain tan. And I did in 2 days of short stitching. I did that much. So I think it's doable. That was the other thing. I wanted it to be doable. And I'm just going to show you real quick. You can go find it just in Melissa's blog. You can search for, I think it's called the Let It Snow Sampler. It is called Let It Snow Sampler. Right there. But that's it. It's just got the alphabet and snowflakes, and then it says Let It Snow, and it's got snowflakes. So it should be done in January. And I wanted the lighter color to show up too. So it's a light blue, and it variegates to dark blue. So that's it. Great minds think alike. Well, everybody's blessing sampler is lovely. And even if you didn't do one, it's all right too. It's okay. It's lovely. Whatever you're stitching on is fun. All right. I will have a pile. I didn't think about that. So on this side, to show you, is biggest to smallest, so it won't topple over. But as I put it on, it's going smallest to biggest, and it might topple. All right, next. 40 minutes. I started the Snowfall Chickadee right here. This is a freebie from Dianna Bloom's Designs. She has a floss tube, and I will link her as well as the sweet lady I'm stitching this with. I'm stitching this with Sara of Sara Stitches. Hi, friend. We did not start. We started on New Year's Eve, but we did not start at the same hour because I was in and out, and I started this, I think, like the last 45 minutes of the year because I got home, cleaned the kitchen, sat down. It was almost midnight, so we just stayed up, and I did a few stitches on this. This is a 18 count that I dyed, doing all the called for. This was a Rit dye, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure it was an 18 count when I started, even weave. And I just got to start on the snowflake in the corner. Right here. So, this will be really cute. I love the Chickadee. She has some other patterns too, with various things behind them. Quakery type motifs. But thank you, Dianna, for offering this a freebie. I'm excited about stitching it. Let's see what else. Okay, and then, is there anything else I needed to say? Winter stamp, let it snow, crochet, go. Okay, 2 left. This is the 2024 Queen of the May from Hands Across the Sea. Have I done Hands Across the Sea? I think I've done a freebie, but not a not a book from hats. So this is the one I'm starting, or I have started. Emily Williams and Friends. I'll link her below. She started the start along. Has divided it up into 14, I think that's right, 14 sections to have it completed by the time, it'll be 200 years since Hannah completed hers. March 1st of, 1826. Okay, so 200 years. Is March 1st of next year of 2026. So Emily divided it up into 14 parts so we could have it complete. That's the goal. Complete by the time 200th anniversary of her finishing here. And I started up here in the corner, as I usually do. This is my first hats book, and it's beautiful. The charting is large, very good instructions. It's nice. Very nice book. I'm stitching it on a 40 count cream Newcastle linen, 1/2, because there is over 1 in here. And I'm going to be getting some more of this fabric. I will have some left over, but it's just buttery creamy loveliness. And here's my wee start. I have the corner done, yay! And I'm starting on the flower and getting the, please don't topple over, getting the outer done and getting close enough to where I can count down to start here. So this is number 1, or A. If you will check Emily Williams' Flosstube, and she shares it also on her last Flosstube. She shares the breakdown, but also she has her Instagram in there. So go over there and see how it's divided up if you're interested in stitching it with us. But she has thoughtfully divided it to where we're not stitching all of this at one chunk. We're not stitching the words last or first, it's like a line of words and some green and some of the other things. It's divided very thoughtfully to where we shouldn't be bored, but it's also, there's some heavy stitching in here, but it's like chewable chunks, I guess. So that is that one. And then, I may sneeze. Maybe not. The last one that I started is from Lila's Studio. Let Freedom Ring. Another big one. This is with my in-person friends. Uh-oh. There we go. In-person friends. We all started it for New Year's in different places. I'm up here. I elected to skip this rope border for now. I will probably put it in Well, I will see. It looks easy. And Barbara said the same. It looks like 2 colors, but no, there's 4 in the rope. So I skipped down and started here in the flower. One of our friends started down below here and is already biting off the chunk of the house. I divided this into 12. Here's our division. Oh, I'll show you that here in a second. This is the division. So the goal is to have it done at the end of the year. We'll see. But we can divide it however we want. But she's down here. I'm up here. I think Barbara's up here too. This is Phoebe's Moonshine Stitchery. This is her logo. I'm using her fabric. It is 40 count Angel. Yes, 40 count Angel by Moonshine Stitchery. And I'm just going to leave this here because it will surely topple over. Doing 1/2 and have plenty of fabric. Oh, so pretty. Love her fabric. This is where I am. Counting. So I started in the corner and I'm working on the flower. I was going to work on it some more last night. We were talking about, we were texting about the windows in here and the door. And I got to looking at it and I didn't stitch any more on it. So I will be stitching on it tonight. But I got the flower going. I got the top leaf almost done. There's another green in there. And this is done. Yeah, that's it. So, that's my wee start, but it's a start. We were discussing, let me know if y'all have done it before, if you've looked at it, but we were discussing the charting of the windows and the doors. The doors, if you look, it looks like there's a shadowing, which is right. Well, it's not right. On the chart, it's a shadow all the way around it. But the stitch chart is stitched with the shadowing on the one side. Also, the window charting is off. These windows are like, some of them aren't outlined. This whole row on the exterior windows are charted complete with the back stitch, but none of the ones on the inside have it. Some of these are off too, so the window is inconsistent on the chart. The windows are inconsistent in the charting, but we just decided to pick what I think we did, right? We're going to pick how we want the windows and just stick with it all the way through. I do like the shadow on the doors. I'll keep that. And Lila Studio has an errata page where she gives us the corrections on some of it, and I've printed those so far. There were 2 pages of corrections, but I did not see anything for the windows, and maybe she noted somewhere down there. I'll have to go back and look. I printed those pages, the correction pages, I think in November, so I can go back and look. But anyway, it's going to be a while before I get there. At least 6 months, if not more. All right, so that's all. I'm going to quickly move this to the other side so it doesn't topple over. All right, now that's all of the new starts and whips. So my plans for this next week, actually, let me just share my goals for the year. So I didn't do a plans video because I had talked about the whip go several videos leading up to the end of the year, so whip go was in the plan anyway. But I have goals for the year, and my goals are not necessarily project based, but more habit based. The first goal is to be more consistent on Instagram. So my Instagram handle is Renewing Stitches, and I don't know how to link it below because I only use it on my phone, but it is Renewing Stitches. It is not public, but if you ask me to be a friend or whatever it is Instagram does, then I'll I'll gladly say yes, and I may even follow you back if you so allow it. But so one of my goals is to post regularly. I'm thinking maybe after I get the video posted, I'll take a picture, or not. I may just have a picture of all my new. I don't know how I'm going to stitch. I don't know how I'm going to post, but I do want to post regularly. I am out there regularly, more than regularly. Just looking and just really looking. I don't comment a lot either, but I need to get back on that too. I am happy with the comment section here. I have a good system down for commenting here, and I love your comments. Thank you. And I'm regularly commenting back, but I'm not on Instagram posting as much. So that's one goal. Another goal is to whip down. Now, I know that's comical because of all the starts that I just started, and I have a couple planned here too for the next week or so. But my goal is to whip down. So from last year's whip parade, it was, did I write it down? Okay. So I wrote it down, whipping down year to year. So as of January 1 to December 31st, I want to end up with less than I started with in January. I can go up, and my whip parade may go up, but I'm hoping to have finishes so I can finish down. I started January 1 with 34 whips. So my goal is, no matter how many starts I have, to finish to where I have less whips. So, whipping down. But that doesn't mean I can't start anything. I just want to have less when I finish. And then the third goal I have is finishing, and is not to be scared of finishing. I know I'm not the best finisher, but you can't get better if you don't do it. And that's why my goal is to not be scared and just start finishing things. So those are my 3 goals this year. Yes. Now my plans for starts this next week are, I have 3 planned. And maybe as long as I get them started in January, I think it'll be good. I do want to stitch with Tara, Mud Creek Stitcher. She's stitching the book of Winds of Autumn from Blackbird. I'm trying to stick my fabric in so it's not hanging out the top or the bottom. She's stitching through this book. I think she's doing most of the patterns, and I would like to do most as well. So I want to start, I thought I might start Mighty Acorn, but I am going to start small. I'm going to start the Autumn Sound. That's the bird here. And I'm going to finish it in a rectangular frame and put it next to it. It's probably going to be smaller because the bird is smaller. Excuse me. This is also Blackbird. This was from Sewing Club book, I think. It was called Hollyhocks. And I put a verse from Psalm 51 under there. But I want to, here's the bigger picture. I want to start this one. See, don't you think it'll go well? A different bird, but same kind of coloring. This is fall, that's springy. Anyway, so I want to start that bird. And it's smallish, 47 by 51. I also want to start, did I say hi, Tara? Hi, Tara. Hi, friend. I also want to start the temperature piece. Now, when I start this, I will bring out the previous temperature pieces. You see one right here, the tree from Stitch and Mommy. And I did the butterflies, and did I do another one from Stitch and Mommy? Hi, Sara, if you're watching. But I am doing the one that she charted for this year. It is this one, the temperature stitches. These are all specialty stitches. Every month is a different specialty stitch, and she has tutorials for the first 2, I believe. So this is my start for the year for the temperature piece. And we start here. This is January. And I don't remember what that stitch is called. Let me look. I don't know. She has great instructions. Here it is. It is the queen stitch. So the queen stitch, and my goal is to have it done weekly. When I did the butterfly and the leaves, I would do like a portion of the trunk or a portion of the butterfly. I would outline it and then do the week of temperatures or the week of leaves. So I'm going to start this. I've got all the flosses pulled for it, and I'm going to stitch it on a 22 count Hardanger white. So there's a year missing. I've done it several years, temperature pieces for several years. Last year was the first year I didn't, but I kept the temperatures in my garden journal, so I may go back and pull those and stitch. But I need to pick. She did the turtles last year. I may do the turtles for that. I don't know. I need to work on that. But I'm starting that this week. I also want to start this pattern. I think I've shown this before. This is from the Antique Pattern Library website. They have a bajillion cross-stitch patterns, crochet patterns, needlework patterns, sewing in general, quilting, you name it, they have it. I will link it below. The cross-stitch part, that's on my favorites as a bookmark. So I'll link that below. But you just go in, they have the alphabets, beautiful antique alphabets. Anyway, this is the black and white version of the chart that I want to stitch. It is a border, and it's beautiful. I am going to stitch it one, so they've charted one part of the pattern. It's a repeating pattern, you can see. So my thought is to stitch it and stitch the whole thing and just hoop it and stick it up there. So I will be starting this one. It's beautiful in color. And then I have, so Laura, hi friends, I think I said hi earlier, Stitching by the Shore, she released the theme for the next trading card swap, and it's where you live, but not necessarily like for the States. Yes, we live in the States, and we could put stitch something that is a nod to the States, but also maybe your state, and even more specific than that, your city, or maybe the street where you live, or the neighborhood. I'm going to stitch the neighborhood just because it's significant to my neighborhood. For Texas, I mean, I could do an oil derrick, or a cowboy hat, or cowboy boots, or a blue bonnet, or crepe myrtles, because that's our shrub. I could do pecan pie. I mean, Texas state, is it an emblem? No. Texas state mascot? I don't know. The thing for Texas, there's a lot of them to choose from, but I thought I'd go a little more specific to my neighborhood. My neighborhood is duck related. Every street in my neighborhood has a duck name. So I'm going to stitch a duck. And we have ducks everywhere around here. We have, well, they, not right now. Well, there may be some ducks around now. But in the spring and summer, there's mallards, there's wood ducks, there's a lot. So I am going to be stitching, I had two patterns. This is the first one I was looking at. And I may pull one off of this. That's one of the street names. The green, no, where is the one that's street? So the wood duck, because we have a street for wood. What else? Mallard, canvasback, pintail. That was the other one. Okay. So I'm going to stitch a mallard, I think. And I think I'm going to stitch this one right here, the male and female mallards. And I'm probably going to put some of the, is there cattails? No. Oh, there's cattails on the back. I may chart a small cattail to put back here. So I think, or I may stitch that one. I don't know, but I think I'm going to go with the duck theme. because that's my neighborhood and my street names. So that's the plan, and then small enough to put on a trading card. And I have some thoughts for the backing too, or the depending on how big the stitches up, the background for the trading card. So those are my plans. This is due. When did you say, Laura? When was this due? I did not write it down. March 1st? February 1st. Yee. March 1st, right? Go watch Laura. She has them in the playlist. The artist trading cards are all in a playlist. Videos are all in a playlist. So you can see some previous finishes, or you can see all the previous, where she shows all the finishes of all of the trading cards. Lots of inspiration. But she also has the details of this upcoming one. So I will link that below as well. And I think that is all. I think an hour is plenty, don't you? Okay, so I will let you go. Please tell me how you're doing. Goals for this next year, what you're stitching on currently. How have you been? How was your holiday, Christmas, New Year's, 2 weeks? Anything else you want to say? If you have any questions, if there's anything here that you have a question on, I'd be glad to answer it. And I think I'm caught up. So I will see you in a week, Lord willing, and I will see you in the comments. Bye, friend. If I can hit the end button. Where's my mouse? Bye, friend.